The one thing that brings us together is our mutual hate and or admiration for different generations. When were you born? What was the 10-year span you were born within? Because apparently determines a lot about your personality, and things are shifting quite. I mean, it's one day everyone celebrates, oh, it's the best. If you're a zennial, you get the best of everything. You experienced a little bit of that pre-social media stuff, but then you pretty much know how that works. I don't even know what's the best one anymore. It used to be the greatest generation is what old people start calling themselves because they were all going off to war and protecting our freedoms.
They just said, we're the greatest generation.
We're the greatest generation. They gave themselves the best nickname. Now we're out of names. Now I think it's like, people being born now, I think are called
I think Alpha, Generation Alpha.
Gen Alpha. Seems weird.
It is a weird one to go back to. But I think that nobody fights more than millennials and Gen Z. They fight about everything. But did you know, like, one differentiator between millennials and Gen Z is that millennials will always dance with their arms up and Gen Z will always dance with their arms down?
Did not know that. That's a fact?
But it's very true.
That's true 100%
Because millennials are always like, yay! With their hands up in the air, and Gen Z, if you look at Johnny, he's always just like,
Yeah, the hands down, the churro, the moving churro. Like, where millennials are all like the inflatable things outside of car washes.
Totally.
Because
that's how we have a good time. We raise the roof.
There was a lot of put your hands up in the air, or where are my single ladies' hands in the air?
We were told to.
There's a lot of being brainwashed to put our hands up in the air. That's the only way you could show you didn't care.
Yeah, but we fight about everything, including how to dance.
So there is one particular group that is now being apparently blamed for a lot as it pertains to keeping a job. They cannot keep a job.
The workforce in general, yeah. I think that they're the most hated generation in the workforce right now. Gen Z. Gen Z
workers are getting fired at a rapid pace.
A lot of them are now getting fired from their first jobs.
6 in 10 had fired college grads that they had hired in 2024. We're still in 2024.
So 9 months in, most of them are being fired.
Being fired already. And it's for a variety of reasons, and we have a list here of all the reasons why it is difficult for them to keep a job in a traditional setting. Now, there's a million ways you could side hustle, make money, do your own thing. But I'm talking about you got hired for a job, there's a job description, a 9-to-5 operation, and for whatever reason, these are the reasons that all of Gen Z is getting fired. And it seems to be, it's a theme. It's happening. It doesn't matter what type of job. It's happening at all the jobs.
And I wonder if Gen Z feels that it's okay to get fired because there's always social media.
Well, that's the one thing I've noticed in general now. It feels like there used to be a fear built into whatever job you had where if I don't get there or if I call out sick again or if I'm late, I'm going to lose my job. And now it feels like most people go, whatever, I just won't go. And what's the worst going to happen? They're going to fire me?
Well, and also I can just move back in with my parents. There's no shame in that.
Right. I think that that whole fear is now gone.
Yeah, the survival fear is not there.
Doesn't exist anymore. So here, I mean, we've got the list here. We can break these down. But Johnny, Gen Z Johnny, 75% of companies report that some of the recent college graduates that they hired this year were, quote, unsatisfactory.
And, Johnny, we had an intervention with you just a couple weeks ago about some of the ways that you're annoying the other coworkers here in the building, just with break room etiquette, the way you follow through on tasks or no follow through. I mean, we hit a lot of bullet points.
Yesterday, Johnny was putting golf balls in the hallway here at KROQ for a while. And
was that before or after he was looking for his bread loaf?
He was taking a break looking for his loaf of bread. His missing loaf of bread, he couldn't...
Are these on the list?
He had no leads on his missing loaf of bread, so he started putting golf balls. And some guy walked by that works at another job that seemed like he had a lot of work he was doing. And he goes, I see this is how they get the stuff done at KROQ. And Johnny goes, we don't work here at KROQ.
What?
Yeah, you can see there's video of that online. His exact line is, we don't do work at KROQ.
I was like, this is KROQ, bro. We have fun. All the stories you guys had back in the day about all the fun you guys used to have, I was like, oof, we still got to keep that spirit alive, baby.
Johnny, the concept that Johnny believes that his job was to search for a loaf of bread and putt golf balls in the hallway.
Okay, I understand where you're coming from, Johnny, but the guys that were all having a lot of fun here at KROQ were also working their asses off. And they were here 24/7. Yes.
Not what I heard. All the guys that I talked to, the OGs here, different story.
Everyone was just phoning it in?
No, you have to earn, or you have to work your ass off and get to that level, Johnny. Do you understand? There's a difference. It's like you have to work your ass off nonstop, and then you get to a certain level, and then you could kind of like, coast it a little bit.
Like Green Day.
But you have, you have to become that well-oiled machine.
Green Day looked like they were having a lot of fun the other night playing Kimmel. Because that's like 30 years of grinding it out, and many of those years were doing all these shows and working. Yes, it's a different type of work. It seems fun now.
Yeah.
But also, that was a long. They put in a long day too.
They put in decades of work. Yeah, to earn that just ability to let go and have fun.
They were at that show 5 hours before they went on stage just so they could do a sound check. And I've never heard a band do that much sound checking. They sound checked.
Oh yeah, they sound checked for like an hour.
Yeah, and it was like, for what reason? We were doing a little tiny show. They just played SoFi. They know they sound good as a band, but they wanted it to be perfect.
And
it
even
wasn't.
the rest of them eventually ended and went off stage, and Trey Cool just kept playing drums.
Right. They wanted to really
to
get
make
it right.
Perfect.
That's the part that's crazy, is that you think about all these people that aren't, quote, working, but they're sometimes putting in the most work.
They weren't putting golf balls.
Kobe was sticking around. It was the best player in the NBA, sticking around practicing free throws and stuff, hours after the whole team went home.
Yeah.
That's technically work. He's an NBA player. He's living a good life. But
he also loved what he did. It was passion, right?
All right, here we go. This is the reason why, according to bosses, the recent college graduate hires have not been successful. And, Johnny, you can defend these one by one if you'd like to, because I think that you'll have an interesting take on these as a representative of Gen Z.
And if anyone else is Gen Z that would like to chime in and defend, you're welcome to.
Here we go. This is the biggest thing that they brought up, that they lack motivation or initiative. Would you agree or disagree, or would you like to defend that?
I want to see what Allie wants to say.
Me? I'm not in your generation.
I know, but I know you have like something to say about it, though. You feel some type of way about it.
Well, I think sometimes there is a lack of initiative, because I've, asked, hey, maybe what about learning this new skill? What about heading over to this event? And it depends on whether you really want to on a personal level, rather than
like.
like.
He wants to answer. He said, "Nah, you go first."
Yeah. We just asked him to answer the question, and he.
You want to take initiative and answer and defend yourself?
That's exactly what defines my generation.
And he passed it off to Allie to answer.
And then I did it. I did his work. Damn it.
You fell right for that one. You sucker.
Point proven.
All right, number
Point
two.
Proven?
Number two on the list. They have a lack of professionalism. Now, listen.
Well, yeah, I would say yeah. Well, yeah, I think it varies from person to person. I would say a lot of kids in my generation are very like spineless. And they're very kind of like passive when stuff happens. But here I just like having fun because it's fun and you guys allow me to be me, and it's a great environment and everybody's really nice and sweet here and I love it.
Do you remember the first meeting that we had with our boss and Johnny?
Great example.
What did I say?
That was great. That was a classic right there. That was about.
Wait, what did I say? Refresh me.
That was about the song.
No one knows what you said.
Oh yeah, that was the best part.
Our boss literally looked at you and said, "Can somebody translate?" He had no idea what you were saying.
Yeah, you guys were laughing too. That was so funny.
Yeah.
If that had happened to me, I would have gone home feeling mortified and going, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? My boss laughed at me, doesn't even know what I'm saying. I would have had a huge head trip about it. But
that
he's
was
like,
such a dub, though. That felt like such a huge generational divide. I was like, oh, snap. Like, maybe it's a good thing.
Yeah, at the end of that, I think Johnny high-fived me. He's like, hi, Key, I think that went well. I was like, dude, I don't know what just happened. That was weird.
It's like,
these are reasons why recent college grads have not been able to keep their jobs. Over 50% apparently have been fired within the year of being hired. Can't even keep it for the 1 year. 9 months has gone by since 2024 began, and they're already getting they're parting ways. Poor communication skills, poor organizational skills, all that basic stuff.
909 said, I saw a video on TikTok of a girl who didn't understand why wearing shorts to an interview is not okay, and it's because they don't really have any kind of gauge on what's professional behavior and what's not.
Yeah, even like that old school, and some of that does feel a little bit. It feels like we should have evolved past it, like certain dress codes. You want to dress to impress, and I get first impressions and all that. I understand that that's still a thing.
Yeah, but also wearing like a shirt.
Well, yeah, you should wear a shirt to an interview. I mean,
there are people who don't. They just wear like bralettes and to interviews.
Depends on the job, I guess. Challenges
so.
with feedback. This is a big one right now. So if they get any feedback, good, bad, or otherwise, they have an issue receiving it.
That one's tough for me because I feel like there are other people who really thrive on feedback and they think that it really helps make them a better employee or just better at whatever they're passionate about, and not being able to take anything negative I feel like is so it's really harsh because you can't take a look at yourself and take your feelings and your person. You can't not take things personally, and that's a problem.
I mean, I have to sit in a room, as you know, Allie and I have to sit in a room once a week.
And get ridiculed.
And we have to listen to parts of the show and be told why they could have been better or what we did wrong. And just sit there, and sometimes I tune it out, and sometimes I let it wash over me, but I just say, all right, well, thank you for that advice.
Yeah, but
That's
then
helpful.
for other people to get criticism and be like, all right, well, then I just don't really want this job.
Lack of relevant work experience, poor problem-solving skills, insufficient technical skills. They're a bad culture fit.
Insufficient technical skills. They should be good at that.
You would think so, but it's like they want to do what they want to do for how they like to do it. And when it's like, here's how we do things here, that's a big thing.
Here's a spreadsheet.
This is a big thing that
Right.
Gen Z hates. It's like, all right, well, that's how you do it, but this is how we do it here. And Johnny will say this because sometimes we've talked about video specifically. We're like, this is how we want it to look. He's like, nah, man. Nah,
that's true.
That ain't going to fly like that. And we're like, yeah, but this is how it needs to be. Nah, not going to do it. And we're
Yeah.
like, wait, what?
Yeah, you guys I noticed that right away as soon as I started here and doing videos for you guys. I was like, ooh, you guys like doing it kind of like weird. Because it's not like quick and catchy like the way I would see a video online to grab my attention and stuff that I know a lot of people resonate with. You guys like setups and context, and by the time you get to the whole thing, it's like, I'm over it. Like,
Yeah.
I want nothing to do with this.
Yeah, they got no attention span, so it's got to be quick. Difficulty working as a team, which is important for this job, and that's pretty much it. Those are the reasons. So if you know
I
these
would say
people,
that Johnny is very good at being on a team.
yes,
Maybe not working with the team,
No.
but just being on the team.
right. When he's not
He's a
hunting,
team player.
when he's not
Thank
hunting
you.
for his loaf of bread, he is definitely a fan of being
Yeah,
on
when
the
he's not
team.
missing,
When he's not.
he's doing a great job of being on a team.
So anything in closing, Johnny? Do you have any closing remarks to defend any Gen Zers that feel like they are being attacked right now? Because it oftentimes feels like any sort of feedback comes across, they feel like it's an attack on them. Do you anything you'd like to say to defend your generation?
Well, I'd like to say that I think this is very much a one-sided fight. I think it's just millennials trying to fight with Gen Z, but Gen Z really doesn't give a damn, and they don't even care because, like, when I get to your guys' age, I'm probably going to be complaining about the generation coming up, and it's like a cycle because
And that's
boomers
what
hated
bonds
you
us all.
guys, you
Right.
guys hate Gen Z, I'll probably hate Alpha, and it's like a cycle, and it's just like,
Klein, Alley, Show! Mornings on KROQ 106.7 KROQ.
You're not currently sick like half of the people on this show. There's a good chance maybe you will be soon because I guess we've officially entered that time of the year where everyone just took for granted the fact that when it was super hot, we were probably sweating so much, we were sweating out all the bad stuff, and now weather changes in Southern California, people go back to school, and boom, those kids are just like little spreaders of all the grossness and germs in the world.
I
Now,
know.
Allie's got it, Omar's got it.
Yeah.
You guys,
almost got it.
well, I've been fighting it, but I've been doing all the things I can think to do to fight it just by, putting enough alcohol in my body to kill off whatever.
Well, and including one other thing that you convinced me was a great idea, which is what I did yesterday. And that would be the quick fix, the old B12 shot.
Yeah, you go there, a stranger jabs your ass with a needle, and,
And you're like, everything's going to be
they
okay.
give you supposedly a 3-week supply of B12 in your body, and it's supposed to help your immune system. It's probably all BS.
I think it 100% is, and I've never had an enjoyable experience doing it. The first time I got it, I guess you're not supposed to get it late in the day because I was up all night with Jimmy Leg.
It can fire you up.
Yeah, and I didn't know that, so that was a problem. Then another time I had to do all this extraneous paperwork. Anyway, yesterday I decided to take your advice, and I tried one more time to get a B12
Hold
shot.
on, you can't put this on me because if I gave you advice and you've done it 2 times already and they've both been fails for you, you can't keep doing the same thing and then fail a 3rd time at it and blame me because I suggested it originally.
Yeah, but it was like you have constantly told me how easy it is, and you've always shared your experience of like, got B12, got an IV, feel great, feel like $1 million.
Yeah.
And so then you're convincing me that maybe this time will be different. So I went yesterday, and apparently because I haven't been there in so long, I had to do the entire intake process all over again.
Oh, Jesus.
Meet with some kind of an NP, and it really is like a weed doctor at this point.
Yeah, it
where they're
seems
like,
very fake.
They're like, anyway, you're going to talk to this person, just some personal lab coat. And they're like, hey, how you feeling today? Okay, sign here. And it's very strange.
All these, it's a big LA thing, but like they have all these like quote like wellness, wellness centers, or it kind of looks like a doctor's office, but it's not really a doctor's office.
It kind of looks like a mix of a doctor's office and a chiropractor's office and a spa.
Yeah,
all together.
And I think whoever is closest to the lab coat gets to be, quote, doctor in the moment. Like,
oh, yeah.
Like I don't necessarily feel like any of them are actually medically trained.
No, there was a girl that I swear was like an influencer, and she was just like laughing and talking to some other girl while holding a bunch of syringes. And I was like, I don't think this is like legitimate. Like, why is she holding all these shots?
Yeah, that's important. I think most doctors like to look Edward Scissorhands all their syringes when they walk around. That's a real move you see a lot.
So I walk in, I'm like, hey, I want a B12 shot, which, by the way, is the lowest thing on the menu.
That fits your character perfectly.
And there's a like member price and a walk-in price, and of course the walk-in price is way more expensive than if you were like a member there and you bought like packs of whatever. There's all these different things that you can buy, like a pack of services, and then it becomes cheaper. So they go, oh yeah, well, what's going on? I'm like, well, I'm sick and I just want to feel better. And they're like, well, if you want to feel better, what you really need is an IV. And I was like, well, I don't really have time for an IV, which was, I really don't want to pay for an IV.
Right. What's the IV price?
$200.
Oh my God.
For an IV that's going to make me feel a whole lot better. So then I go, I don't really have time for an IV. Well, you could do an express IV
in Vegas,
where they give you half.
Yeah, you can get those hangover express IVs in Vegas for like $40, sometimes life-changing.
How much is the express IV? $150. So I'm like, you're giving me half, but you're not charging me half.
Did you tell them all that?
No, I decided to say, no, thank you. I'll just take the B12 shot. Well, do you want to couple the shot with aminos and blah, 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 and all this other stuff? Because that's what'll really make you feel better. Hey, by the way, we also have a new cryo machine. Do you want to try that out? We also have another thing you can stand on and tell you how fat you are.
It's called scale.
You should have done that thing.
It's like a body scan thing where they tell you your BMI and all this stuff. They also have a treatment where they basically put you in a body bag full of oxygen, and then they zip you up and lock you in there for an hour.
Oh, man, I hope you did that.
No. The picture looked terrifying. They literally zip you inside of a bag full of oxygen. Yeah. And it's like some kind of hydro-oxygen therapy or some crap. And they were recommending that most people do it once or twice a day.
Twice a day?
What? It's like, who has time to get locked in a body bag twice a day for oxygen, which, by the way, is free outside?
Yeah, but it's not pure. It's not good stuff. All this oxygen we're getting is all car exhaust and,
They also suggested
methane.
another thing where it's like a machine that they run over my body to get rid of skin dimples.
Yeah, you could use that.
And I was like, what are skin dimples?
Oh, man, that'd be a real battle. Double beeps colliding.
I mean, it was insane. So finally I had to just be like, you know what?
Don't they realize
I just want the B... Like, just recognize that I'm not that person.
Yeah.
Just say, give her the B12 shot and send her on her way. You're not going to get money out of this one.
Yeah, but you also kind of want to be pleasant enough because if you are there for a shot, the person you're talking to is about to jab you with a needle. So at some point you do want to be like, you don't want to be a total bitch. You want to be like, oh, that's interesting. All right,
I think
maybe
they gave me a watered down one.
Why? Because you were being so cheap?
No, because I still feel sick. I still feel like crap. And I feel like because I didn't buy all the extra stuff, they're going to give me worse treatment. They were basically, the whole thing is set up so that you benefit if you go more often.
Well, that's a lot of places. I mean, think about it. You get a sandwich card. You buy more sandwiches, you get a free sandwich.
I know, but you should be able to go in there and buy a sandwich easily. This was such a long process for a B12 shot just because they have all their regulars. And the regular guy came in. He's like, hey, can I get an ice bath and a blah, blah, blah. And they let him go in before me, even though I had an appointment. I mean, it's like, it's all rigged.
Did you have to take your pants off for the shot? Because usually when I do a B12, they tell me they got to put it right in the glute.
I started rolling up my sleeve, and she said, no, I'm going to put it in your butt, which I felt like was not a super professional way to
That's how she said it?
Yes.
Oh, put it in your butt?
She said, stand up, I'm going to put it in your butt.
Uh-huh. And then Allie realized she was going to Trader Joe's.
I think she was also picking tortilla chips out of her teeth because they had just come back from lunch.
Hey, that's a true medical professional right there.
And then but I just pulled the back of my pant down a little bit.
You just gave a little cheek?
Yeah.
You didn't pull
it's
the whole
basically the
pants
top of your ass. It's not really like your ass.
Mm-hmm.
It would be really weird if it was like the bottom.
Did you hear her make any sort of like visceral gag of sounds when you did that or no?
She made the forklift noise.
Okay. Okay.
Which was offensive, but still, I appreciated it.
Hey.
For comedy's sake.
And then Allie signed up for the package.
I did. Big old package.
Yeah, this woman gets me. Hey, thanks for checking out some of our radio show on KROQ. Just between you and me, we're about to fire Allie, so hopefully you didn't get used to her too much. But thanks for checking it out, and we appreciate you checking out the live radio show. And
Hey, what are you guys doing?
nothing.
But you're filming something. Aren't they supposed to be involved in this?
We're not filming anything.
There's a camera right there.
Just part of the. Bye.